Hold up.
Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Loren LoRosa is here as well. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got Chris Gotti. Welcome.
Talk to me, man.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
First and foremost, how you
Appreciate
doing,
it.
brother? How's everything, man?
Man, I'm blessed, just taking it one day at a time from everything, but everything's going great. Got a lot of positive stuff happening, and that's why I'm here.
All right. If you don't mind, I want to go back a little bit for people that
Sure.
don't know who Chris Gotti is. Of course, Irv Gotti's brother.
Yes.
Irv Gotti's big brother.
Yes.
For Queens, New York, Hollis. And you guys been in the industry for a while, and you guys, both of y'all, founded Murder Inc.
Yeah.
Most people only hear Irv when thinking about Murder Inc., but you were kind of the silent guy behind everything. So talk about how Murder Inc. or the Inc. was founded.
It's Murder Inc. We hated that we had to change that name. That was Russell Simmons and Leo that came to us, and Ben Chavis, and said, put murder to bed, because we was down with the feds and everything. So Murder Inc. was founded because Irv wanted to be the biggest producer in the world. I helped make him that, finding producers. And we built out his production company called Top Dog Productions, and we just started making hit after hit after hit for multiple artists. Irv didn't say, I'm going to start Murder Inc. See, this is the misconception that most people don't realize, that they thought Irv came up with, like, I'm going to start a record label. He didn't start a label. He just wanted to be the biggest producer in the game. And that's what happened. And because that happened, Tom Mottola, Dave McPherson over at Sony said, we want to give you a record deal. They told us they wanted to buy 4 beats. At the time, we're selling beats for $250,000 a track, so that's $1 million. I'm like, let's go get that. We met up at Justin's, the restaurant, Diddy's
Puffy's
restaurant,
yeah.
And we go to Justin's and meet Dave McPherson, and we talk, and he's like, Tommy wants to give you a deal. He don't want to buy beats. And to our surprise, he pulls a contract out, and we look at it. Irv looked at it, and he threw it right back at him and said, you serious? Send it to our lawyer. So that's really the birth of Murder Inc. And then we didn't have a name. We just came up with a bunch of things. DJ Clue's doing the mixtape. Ja's doing the feature. And inside of that feature, we had a bunch of names we had thought of, like Lockdown Records. He says it in his verses on the features on the mixtape. And that's kind of where we was at. And then Irv was watching Arts and Entertainment one day, it's Gangster Week, and he sees Murder Inc. on the screen, and it's the Notorious Murder Inc., which was the Italian guys that was actually making hits.
Yeah, that was doing hits on people in Brooklyn.
Yeah. It's Lucky Luciano, Alfred Anastasia, and those guys. And the narrator of that show was like, the Notorious Murder Inc., and they made hits. Irv went crazy. He went crazy. He called everybody. I got the name. But that's why, when you ask that question, how did it start? And if the co-founders, that's the co-founder. I helped make all of the music with them, with all of the producers, and I just took care of the business, and I took care of my little brother.
And Ja was always the first artist on Murder Inc.
Another misconception. Ja was already signed to Def Jam. So his first album, Vs.Then, it's on Def Jam. We just get the deal, but he already signed his deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people don't know that. So we had to go basically back to Leor and say, that's our artist. And then we had to pay for it to get him back to Murder Inc.
How much did you have to pay?
A couple $1 million.
Damn.
Yeah. And
that was after the first album.
After Vs.Then.
Okay, got you.
And then they took some extra points on his next 2. But a couple $1 million. Look, we had to pay for Ashanti. She was signed to AJM Records, which is shout out Mario Baeza. Mario's like an uncle. And he has Ashanti. He wanted us to do records for Ashanti on his label. He had a little independent label. And Ashanti was there with him, and Irv didn't really think about doing anything. Irv would hit me with the tunnel vision, like, stay focused, yo. We get money with Ja Rule. I'm like, yo, she could write. She's dope. And what broke that ice was Fat Joe. He called me up because he's doing a big pun album, and he says, I need that pun. I need a artist to R&B artist on the hook. I said, I got one. He said, you do? I was like, yeah. I called her up. She drove right to the studio, penned it. Joe was like, yo, she's dope. I said, all right, tell Irv.
And that's how that went down.
And he told Irv, and Irv said, "What artist?" And then he called me up right after. Irv was like, "What artist you talking about?" Like my R&B artist, and it was Ashanti. He was like, "What artist?" And Irv called me right after that. Said, "Bring it back up." I would bring it to the office, and Irv wouldn't even want to talk. So like he's so focused. Irv is tunnel focused. Like when he's locked in, I don't see no one like this dude, man. And he would be there, and he wouldn't even. I would have to force him to just say hi. And lie to them, like, yeah, I listened to your music. Yeah, I'll get back to you. So he would walk in, say what's up, and right back in his office. And they were like, did he like my music? I was like, oh yeah, he loved it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how we got Ashanti. But Joe, the cosign, like Irv is an artist. It's very difficult to make artists listen to you if they don't. Irv was my little brother. I raised him. He listened to me up to a certain point. After that point, I had to get someone else so I would send messages through all types of people to tell them, do something to get it done. And that's what Joe did for me.
How do you balance family and business in moments like that, though? Like you said, especially when y'all got disagreements or when he don't want to listen to you no more. Like.
I never had a disagreement with my brother. I never put my hands on my little brother. You know how big brothers, they always talk about that. It was different. I always seen something in Irv from little. He was just different in a different way. And again, when you talk music, it's like Irv did anything I did. That's when he followed anything. I would never tell him anything bad I was doing because I didn't want him to do it. But the reality is Irv was playing basketball. I used to play basketball. Then Irv started really playing basketball and was really good. And he had dreams of going somewhere for a split second. BJ Carter from Hillcrest High School was so fast, Irv's quit after that. He was like, if I can't keep up with him, I can't. That's what kind of ruined his hoop dream. But I was DJing, and people don't know that. I started DJing because I had got some equipment. I won't say how I got it, but I got some equipment, and next thing you know, Irv started DJing. And he got really good. And that's what started the music. And then I was managing him in a group called DF Crew, which is Romeo and Rozelle. Shout out Rozelle. You know what I'm saying? The Godfather of Noise. He's a beatboxer.
Oh, yeah, he's built the Roots.
Yeah, he was the Roots.
Oh, yeah.
We had him early days. He was from Hollis, 199 in Hollis, so he was right there.
I did not know that. I don't know why I thought Rozelle was from Philly with First Love and all that. I mean, with Black Thought and all that.
I do want to ask, you talk about he doesn't listen. When he got to his later life, they said he was having health problems.
Yeah.
They said nobody could talk to Irv about eating healthy. I talked
to him constantly.
They said he wouldn't change his diet. He wouldn't change his thing. And they said nobody could get through to him. Why do you think that was for Irv?
Partially because my pops was hard-headed. He got it from my dad. So same exact thing, going through diabetes, health problems. And my dad was like, you can't tell me God didn't make this orange and I can't eat it. You can't, you know, this was really our problem. And it's the ignorance of just health. And Irv was the same. He would be like, there's no way you could tell me I can't eat this food. It's good. And he would tell you it's healthy, and it was trash.
It was trash, right?
You know, and it was just hard-headed. Now, when he had his first stroke, he had 2 strokes. The first stroke, basically, I didn't think he was gonna be here for after that one. I went to the hospital. As soon as I heard, I flew right to LA. Shout out BJ. BJ found him. Yeah, you know BJ called him. Picked him up. Got him to the hospital. Irv, when he came around, he was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. Don't take me to the hospital. I'm going to take my meds now. Again, it's probably just how we are. We're very hard-headed. I got a little bit of that too, so I'm not acting like I don't. And BJ was like, no. He said, so stand up. And he couldn't. He stood up and fell back down. And no, you're going to the hospital. Took him to the hospital. I didn't know he was going to get past that one. When I flew out there, he was there for, I was there for a month and a half in the hospital staying with him. When he took about 2 weeks before he actually came back and was conscious. But those first 2 weeks, I didn't think he was going to make it. And I always credit, I said, BJ gave us another year, basically, before the next one, you know, so.
Somebody told me, I'm sorry, but somebody told me there was a sense of acceptance that he had. And he would say things like, I'm going to see Poppy, I'm going to be with Poppy.
Yeah. Yeah, he wrote, if you've seen his gram, and I would always, when I seen it, I would call him. Like, stop talking like that. I don't believe in calling on for death like that, unless you really have a death wish. And I was like, yo, stop talking. You'll see him when it's your time. And, you know, Irv was very, you know, success. I pretty much see this in every successful person. They're very particular in how they take information from people, which one or who, you know, and Irv is no different. There's no exception to the rule. He's right there. You know, so with success and money, and you damn near probably feel invincible. I used to say Irv used to feel like he's God probably at one point. When we was at the height of Murder Inc., he probably felt like he was the alpha and omega at one point.
And you think he knew when he sold part of his catalog, right?
Yeah. No, he sold it all. Well, he Irv owned 50% of the masses. We had a 50-50, so we had 50%. He sold it. It was a $300 million deal, 100 in cash, 200 for movies and TV projects.
Do you think he knew at that time to set his kids up to be like, if something does happen, every kid to have that? Do you think that was the mentality?
Irv is 100% family. So, yeah, that's definitely part of it. And it's also part of health. And just not, you know, just want to make sure, like you said, things is there for somebody, no matter what. Because Irv accepted death. He would always accept death if that was the consequence, whatever it is. We both do. Like, I don't ever look at the consequence of whatever it is, right? The preciousness of life. Think about that. Like, we're here for such a short amount of time. But we never thought about anything like that. Irv's no different. And that's why when he got sick, and he would tell me, like, if this is what it is, this is what it is. But he didn't try to prevent it. And that first stroke, he did for his kids. Because he fought back. His left side was paralyzed. He got it all back. And I would be right there. Like, you could get it all back. I did it with my dad at 82. I made him a vegan. He no longer was diabetic. But what took my dad was cancer. The causes of that sugar creates the cancer in your body. And he died from lung cancer. He beat cancer in his thigh, shoulder, spine, but didn't beat the lung cancer.
How's your health?
He passed at 86. But still, look, I'll sign off right now if someone said 86, that's your date, done. I'm 58. Let's go. It's just the reality of life. Like, we all know this is, you know, no one talks mortality, especially when you're young. But it's coming, and we don't know when. That's the reality too. We don't have no one knows that expiration date.
Well, how is your health? You said earlier you're hard-headed as well.
Yeah, no, I fast now. I've been doing this for years. I credit Phil Ivey. I don't know if you guys know who Phil Ivey is, the poker player. I manage Phil Ivey 24 years now, still currently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he's been up here one. I think Phil was he up here?
I don't think so. Maybe. He might have been up
Early
here.
on, I think.
Early.
Yeah.
You know, well, shout out Phil. He's having another baby, man. And that's something I fought with him to have, you know, some kids. Got to keep him going, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil changed my life since COVID. I'm going to go back to COVID. I was out in Vegas. I ran a record label called Supernova for him. You know, he had some incredible artists, man. It was crazy. He's not the best of understanding of how to not give these artists everything they want. He gave them too much. And when you didn't succeed yet, that's not a good formula for success. Got to have that hunger.
I saw that you and Ja Rule are figuring out some sort of organization to help educate people and using. So you're leaning into holistic medicine. Yeah,
I've been holistic for years. The only thing I would go to a doctor for today would be like a broken bone or something. Holistically, I fix everything, any ills. But you know, if you take care of yourself, those will be very far and few between. I really believe that. You know, I was reading something with Farrakhan or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as
How
they
to
all
eat to
say.
live.
And he said, if you eat one meal a day, he said you might not get sick for every 3 years. If you don't eat in 3 days, you know, a fast in a 3-day time, he said you probably will get sick once every 10 years. And, you know, if you go longer in a fast, it's like you won't even get sick. The food is what kills us. It's just the reality. The body, God designed is perfect. Think about it like that, and then you understand. The only thing impure is what you're putting inside your body. So if you don't understand that, or that concept of flow, then it's what it is. But you deal with a holistic doctor. Sandy, that's my girl. She's amazing.
I want to go back to the Murder Inc. days for a second.
Yeah.
What do you think the culture underestimates about that era?
Whew. The culture in that era, again, when I love these kids today, I promise you, but the business is all messed up because of the internet. I have a distribution company called Adventure Music. I am fully engulfed inside of music, from how to help or empower independent artists. But today versus then is, again, the competition today is, again, it's a needle in a haystack for real today. Like, you could be the dopest artist and no one could even hear you. I always talked about this years ago, like, how come we don't have another Whitney Houston? How come we don't have another Luther Vandross? These are like iconic, classical, Anita Baker. It's because it's too hard to find them. And then the labels, when they stop pumping the money in to actually create that star and market that artist, there's not a chance in hell. Today, the artists, that's the challenge. You have to actually become that on your own, and that is a huge challenge. And they're doing great jobs as far as the marketing and building social medias and all that influence. But there's so much options. Think of it. Let's use food. We was just talking food. I always talk to artists like it's food. If you're an artist delivering music, you're feeding your fan. Stop putting out music, and the fan is going to eat somewhere else. They're not waiting on you today, where they would wait on, man, that next Ja Rule album, that next DMX album, that next Jay-Z album. They was waiting on that. Like, I don't see that anticipation for the most artists. There's still some legacy artists that are still today. A Drake, I'll use him, or Kendrick. They have that power. A Future, they still have that power. But I promise you, they better keep it going. The longer they go dormant, the harder it is to get that audience back.
So what's the biggest mistake you see labels making today?
The biggest mistake for labels is not investing in artists. We have to find a way to invest in the artists. To expect the artist to walk in the door and be a star is like, that's not real.
It's ridiculous.
That's not real. Michael Jackson was 5 years old, groomed to be the king of pop for all those years. It's a reason. It's not just by chance. And, of course, quality music and talent has to be there. So, again, it's what it is. You gotta groom. You gotta groom, and you gotta understand it. And there's so many outlets now that reach so many people. It's not just here, right? There's so many different places, so that makes marketing easier for the artists, and they still can't hone in on
the
that.
artists don't even like the market. They don't even like to do the press no more.
The amount of time an artist has with a hit record today is another problem. In our day, we make an album. We knew we had 3-4 singles. We knew we dominated for a year. Like, we locked in. We have this year. This is our year. Not a month. This is our year, because we knew we had the first single, the second single, the third. We locked. And that's how we built out our business. You can't do that today. You'll be dead. You have to feed them. Think about how much music like a Drake puts out. It's a massive number. And all the content he does and all the... Man, it's night and day.
I always want to know, how did you navigate with Irv having problems with all of y'all friends? Like, one time Irv was not messing with Hove, then it was Fat Joe, then it was DMX, then it was Nas. Like, how did you navigate that part of it?
Families fight. If we're not close in the beginning, then it doesn't matter. Then it's really like whatever. Then, but it's not, and that's just the facts. And you make mistakes. Irv made a ton of mistakes. If he was here or not, I'm going to always speak the reality of what it was. Irv made a lot of mistakes. For instance, with Jay-Z, Nas, they beefing. Irv made Super Ugly. He produced that record.
Correct.
To go after that and talk to Jay-Z and say, I'm going to sign Nas. What you think?
Was you there for that convo?
Of course. We're in Baseline Studios.
What did Hov say?
Before Irv spoke, I said, I'll give you the PG version, but I told him, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. And then Irv was like, yo, it's good business. And he's telling him, it's like, yo, are you crazy? You can't tell your man you want to work with his enemy like that. Like, and Irv's like, nah, it's just on. Jay was like, he was asking him, does he have real beef with him? He said, nah, it's just like music. But Jay's keeping it cordial. like to see where Irv is going with it. Jay plays chess. He's not playing, like he wants to see what you're gonna say. And Irv, as soon as Jay said it's not beef like that, he turned to me, he said, I told you. And Jay looking at me like, yo, is he serious? And I was like, wow, he's crazy. But again, when you asked earlier, you asked about like, I was always in the back. Irv, this is all about Irv. Business is our business, right? The way we conduct our business, that's our business. But it was all about Irv. I never wanted to be in front of the camera, behind the never. I was forced into that. Everyone, everybody. I was forced into it. But that's the reality with Murder Inc. I was always, my job from Irv was, what do you need? Keep everyone away from him so he could stay focused. Only, you know what I mean? Because, the amount of orangutans I had to deal with is unreal. And not just New York, every city we went into. They all wanted in. That's the era we was in. They all wanted a piece of the goose that laid the golden egg. And I had to deal with them and keep them away.
And now that was signed with Murder Inc. officially.
Nah, Steve Stout. Steve Stout. Shout out Steve, man. But the commission is, he's in that day, he was a real hands-on guy. He's the one that brought the deal to us. And Irv was like, you serious? We could get Nas? Like, we didn't think we could get that. And he was like, yeah. We made the record, the pledge.
Yep.
Nas pledging allegiance to Murder Inc. Think about that. He's on the record pledging allegiance to Murder Inc. And then Stout seeing the future, in my opinion. And again, to his credit, I'm not knocking Stout. This dude is brilliant. In the book of hip hop, he has to be one of the most iconic people in that book. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Steve again. The end of the day, he's seen the future. What's the future? Come on, Murder Inc. We're Murder Inc. What's the future? It's 50 Cent. He's saying it. He knew it. He knew it. I had a sneaker deal with Steve Reebok. We were on a private plane flying there, designing everything in the plane. And then he seen the future and pulled everything, and switched it. Now G-Unit got his sneaker deal. Jay-Z got his sneaker deal. You understand? With Reebok. And again, he knew he seen something and understood and made the pivot. As a businessman, I respect it.
So question, why was Jay...
As a friend, it's a little questionable.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. Why was Jay upset with Irv but not Steve, and Steve presented the deal?
Well, Steve was also part of a lot of... That's why Dame always has no beef with Steve, is because of that. Steve was funneling a lot of deals with Jay, and then seeing Jay getting pulled that way instead of going through Dame and dealing with the, that side of it. I understand that. I understand why he's upset about that. As a, if Irv, I use Phil. I'm gonna use Phil Ivey for this story because Phil had a deal. I brought him this lawyer. I won't say his name, but I brought him a lawyer. He didn't know who Phil was, and I brought him a lawyer. They ended up doing some business, and the lawyer didn't tell me. And I didn't get mad at the lawyer. I got mad at Phil. I said, you can't do something and then expect me to not, you didn't let me know about it. That's on you, bro. That's not on me. And that's the same way I look at with Jay and Steve. That, you know what I'm saying? If he don't go back to Dame, if he doesn't go back to Dame and say something, I feel you had to come and talk to me. I'm here to protect you. That's how Dame felt. And I get it. Like as a partner, Dame would have took a bullet for Jay. You kidding me? In that day, you kidding me? It's not even close. That's what makes me mad with that situation.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about the situation?
I spoke to Jay about that before. One time I told him, and then I just left it alone after that.
How do you feel when you see it play out? Because you see how close they were. You were on tours. You were in studios.
There's a lot of stuff that's personal, again, inside of a family that we wouldn't know, that I don't know. I'll leave it there. And then you got to let families be what they are because of what it is. I respect both of them to the highest level, At the end of the day, I leave it alone.
And didn't Jay get back? I think I heard you tell a story about how when Jay used Irv's same line against him.
Oh yeah, the same line. Because Irv was like when Jay told him that it wasn't really more. It wasn't like physical beef. It was more lyrical. And Irv went crazy, like I told you. And then but Jay's looking at him like, you my man. You can't be like serious. Like, but left it alone. Chess, he's playing chess. And then right after that, Jay went and did a tour with 50 Cent. They got the G-Unit sneaker. He has his, remember he had his like Gucci,
Scott Carter
collection. Yeah. And they went out on the tour. And then Irv sat there and he's like, yeah, I just went out. And he's like, yeah, it was good business. Because Irv told Jay it would be good business to do this. This is going to be good business. I'm going to have not. But what he's not realizing, and Irv knew it after the fact, hindsight is 20/20. He realized that was one of his biggest mistakes with Jay. Mm-hmm. It took a lot to fix that.
Mm-hmm. But they finally did fix it.
Oh, yeah, we had multiple conversations. But, it wasn't never the same, right? It was never the same. Mm-hmm. Like, what's that record? And Jay says, gotta consult Irv Gotti, y'all. Heads got to roll.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Jay took that off every forward record. Think about how serious that is. Mm-hmm. That he said, no, I don't want to hear that no more. Mm-hmm. You can't get that unless you have the old original. It's bleeded out. It's bleeped out.
It is?
I didn't know that.
It's called remastering, baby.
Oh, so remastering with his heads got to roll. I didn't know that.
Yeah, gone.
I remember that.
Does not exist. Go get that record and see if you could hear it. Go to Apple Music and see if you hear it. I'm bad with titles. As much as I'm terrible with titles and names and stuff, I don't remember the title of the record. It's on Streets is Watching.
Yeah, the Streets is Watching album, but it's only a customer. It's only a customer. Only a customer.
Jay used to sit in my office literally to wait to talk to Irv. That's how deep that was. Again, he's at the heights of unbelievable heights. Mm-hmm. People may not like to hear that, but if it's true, it's true. You know what I'm saying? And it's not one time. It's multiple times. Yo, is Irv coming? I was like, yo, you want to stay in my office? Go ahead. I'll lock the door, whatever. He's like, nah, it's all good. He just sit there and just be waiting. And Irv, when he come in, they go into. But Irv would help him with all types of business, ideas, thoughts, everything. He respected Irv's brain. I'll leave it there.
Now, the Fat Joe thing, y'all could never, I'm sorry. The Fat Joe thing, y'all could, because Fat Joe and Irv was like.
We fixed that.
Y'all fixed that.
With Joe and
Irv.
Again, never the same. It was at my man JR's funeral. And, I told Joe, again, I'm my brother's keeper. Mm-hmm. I told Joe, you messed up, bro. And I went at Joe and told him, and he's like, he understood. We was at Say Less, actually. And I was having a meeting with my niece and Saint from Interscope Records, and I didn't want to go and deal with this right now. And my other dude, Big Joe, kept coming and say, yo, Fat Joe's over. Come on. And I said, I don't want to talk right now. He forced me to talk, so I said, all right, let me go talk. And when I went to back there, he's with Rich, of course. Shout out Rich and Joe and Uncle Dan, the usual suspects.
Absolutely.
And I told him, I said, you can't shout out my brother's a sucker and then whisper, I'm sorry. That's a sucker move. And I told him that. Mm-hmm. That's a sucker play. You can't do that. Especially if we're like this. You can't yell it at the top of the mountain and then come down here and say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did that. Mm-hmm. I asked him all kind of crazy questions because that's just me. I was like, was you messing with Ashanti? Is that your girl? You found her because of us. What are you doing interfering? They had a relationship. What are you doing? Like, I said, and listen, I promise you, go listen to anything. All Irv did was yell how much he loved her. In the way he's talking about you could tell as a man, he loved that woman. He was heartbroken. But I said, how do you tell me you love this girl and you out with everybody else? That don't make no sense. He kept getting caught with other, like, yo, what are you doing, bro? But that's Irv. That is Irv. He wanted his cake and eat it too. Again, you know him, that's who he is. Well, and that's the reality of that whole thing. But it's crazy. Like every time I say just listen. Everyone talks all crazy. Just listen to what he's saying. Listen to the words. Don't just hear he's speaking loud. We're Lorenzo's. We speak loud. That's just, you know what I mean? That's what we do. But at the end of the day, you listen to what he's really saying. And Irv is not a liar. He is telling you the truth about her, about him. I was their counsel, meaning when they would fight, I'm over the Four Seasons with Irv, and I'm at the Ritz-Carlton with Ashanti talking about what did he say? What did she say? Trying to keep them cool and keep the business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the business where you gotta be. That's the facts. Ashanti wanted me to play a part in one of her videos. Again, I wish I remember the name of this video. Oh man, where she's singing and she got the dude, her boyfriend in the tub, and she wanted me to play that part because she wanted me. I said, I'm not doing that.
She was gonna kill you.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm really supposed to be Irv.
Right.
Again, it's like crazy. And I told her, I said, the only thing I won't do is lie. But I never took Irv's side while Irv was here. Never. So all I said is, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not gonna talk about nothing, but I'm not gonna lie either. Like, you can't ask me to do that. He's not here no more. He can't even say nothing. If I hear something wrong, I will correct it. But that's it. That's just for respect for my brother. But Irv hated that I never took his side with her. Hated it. Like, that was something I had to deal with him. And I'm like, yo, that's your relationship. You know, that's your business. This is over here. He was like, she didn't come to the trial. I said, she was at the trial, bro. Yeah, because Darcel called her. I said, I called her. And said, you should be there. And she showed up. What more do you want? You guys are fighting. And what else I always say is, I say, let me talk to your ex. And let me see what she's going to say. Let me talk to you. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's the fact.
Have you and Ashanti been able to talk since everything? Because I saw that you were upset with her when she sat down with Angie Martinez and she said that.
Yeah, I was upset because we haven't spoke in person after Irv's passing. Imagine that. And I promise you, I'm the reason she was murdering. Irv made the records. But Irv would have never got to that point if I don't do what I did. I used to fly up to Jersey, giving her music to make record after record. If I don't put her on the pun, it never happens. And I did that. She knows it. For her not to call me after Irv's passing, she texts me. That don't feel right. Her mother, Tina, that don't feel right. You understand? Like, I did everything for them. Never did I get one thing in return. Don't count tickets, because I could get that myself. You know what I'm saying? To a show. That's just the facts. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat nothing, and that's why I felt the way. And then when I see it, I'm like, nah, that's not cool either. But again, she's thinking career, but she's a legacy artist. She has no new music. Her career is solidified. She's fine. Stay in shape. This is the reality. And deliver them. You'll be able to do that until you're gone and make a living. She's fine. That's what we did. We gave them hit records. That's the reality. Ja Rule's the same. We gave him them hit records.
You think?
And Ja, again, he's amazing. And yes, it's a marriage. When I say we gave him, it's a marriage. Lyric and beat. And I know there was a point she was like, she wants her masters. And that's why Irv was like, I'm not like Leor. Meaning, Leah wasn't in the studio making those records with you. Meaning, when you wrote those songs and I corrected it, I'm part of that too. When I put that record out and I did the beat and then I have to go market, promote it physically to get it off the ground. You know, there's so much details of the murdering history that we don't know or the public doesn't know. Ashanti, we didn't have her signed and we put Foolish out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. #1 record in the country and she's not signed. You know how much it cost us to get her from that little AJM Records? $5 million. Out of our pocket. 5, because we got a hit record.
Oh, yeah.
We got a hit record on her. So now the number's up. 5 million.
What made y'all put the record out before she was
Irv. Irv moves with his heart.
Yeah.
Leo said, I'm not going to pay for nothing. Irv's like, we going. It's timing. You know, success is, #1 reason for success is timing.
Yeah.
#1 reason for all success, any business, whatever it is the timing. Irv understood timing at the highest level. We have to go now. He knew what the world was looking for. That's why she's still that's all it is. It's the timing. And she put, boom, it worked. But now he got to pay. And he did. She knows we had to pay that money. But look, Irv said loyalty. He figured that's what hurt him. See, this is the part that hurt him. He's thinking she's going to be loyal with me on just business things and stuff. And again, then it turned into relationship too. Because in that moment, he wasn't messing with her yet. He just seen a talented young girl. And that's it. And that's what she was. That's what she is. Like she's amazing writer. She's incredible artist. And she always wanted to sing. She could sing pitch perfect. People don't know about her. If you think about her career, they always like, she can't really sing, but that's what Irv created. She hated she wasn't singing. But remember, she had 3 deals before Irv. So she lost 3 times. Fourth time was the charm. So when you think about it from a business standpoint, I'm a business guy. When I think the business of it, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? She was with Noonie and those guys at Noontime and all of that. No records, but you're singing, you're making a record that no one wants to hear because the timing is not right. Not saying they weren't good records. It's the timing of it. It's the eras changing, the culture. Irv is part of the culture. He created this culture, this sound that was coming out of us. And all these other artists, he put his hands on. Pause.
And y'all probably didn't make a lot of money off Foolish either, because that was a Bad Boy sample. Wasn't that a sample?
No, yeah. Yes, it's a sample. Wasn't bad. We didn't give it to Puff. Irv kind of, he went to him and told him, I'm using Biggie, but I ain't using your Biggie. Because Puffy wanted him to use that, so he'd get it. He went to the original. I think it's the Ozzy Brothers.
Yeah.
I think so.
When Irv sold the catalog for his part of the catalog, was Ashanti's Masters a part of that?
Yeah,
Like,
every song he made.
Got you.
Every song he made. Every song he produced. Everything. Because it's when you sell the masses, it's not just masses, it's publishing goes along with it. Because whoever's paying that kind of money, they don't want to go fight for the now with the publisher and say, you can't use it. They want it all. Mm-hmm. And, they had to get and that's what they did. They did that with Universal. So in our contract, we have full control of the master 100%, but we had to share 50-50. So basically, wherever that music was going to get put anywhere, we could say yes or no to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how we had it set up. So when he sold it, they inherited that right. So Universal can't stop Iconoclast, who has the masters now.
I was asking because when he sold something previously with Ja Rule, didn't he give Ja Rule a cut?
Yeah, he gave Ja, but again, that's family business.
Got you. So there's nothing like that that was going down with Ashanti's situation for the part that he sold.
Gave Ja was supposed to be. It's a different business.
I was gonna ask, was Ja a owner of?
That's what Ja was supposed to be officially. Never happened. Never happened.
Why not?
Just timing. Irv was gonna sign to Ja Rule's label as the first artist for Ja.
I heard that before. That was like that's a hip hop urban legend. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I have the napkin I wrote the contract on, and they both signed it. I have it somewhere, but that's what the contract was. Because Irv was like, we would be in the studio, and Irv would re-rap everyone's song for them to show them how to deliver the song. Not so much Ja, but like the other artists. And then Irv understood how to deliver as a producer. He understood how to deliver vocals on music. You know what I'm saying? And that is what, man, when Ja said, nah, you can't go out like that. And he was like, he's going to write his song, because Irv wasn't a writer. Ja was like, I'll write all your music. You're going to be my artist on my label. And they signed the deal. It just never came to fruition, just like Ja's getting his piece of murdering.
So that was his piece when he sold the thing. That was his piece for it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question about Foolish. It was a DeBarge sample, right? But it did have
DeBarge.
It had Biggie's voice in Foolish. It was another one.
That was a remix. The remix we did the remix, but we didn't. It was different.
That was a
We did the
remix.
remix.
Got you,
the
got you,
original
got
one
you, got
didn't
you, got
have
you.
it. The original doesn't have it.
What was the most underrated part of your role in building Murder Inc.?
I don't. I'm very humble. I like I said, I did everything I had to do for my brother. I'm my brother's keeper, and that's the crazy part. Everything I had to do on anything you could think that needs to be done, I did it. I faced 20 years of something that wasn't for me. That's the ultimate. If you understand the truth of the everything, Irv, and again, shout out Preem. Go see the Supreme Truth. He got a documentary out just for crazy. So, but Irv and Preem forged a relationship. I'm from Hollis, Queens. I'll give you that dynamic because Hollis and Southside don't work. Preem is the king of Southside. You're Queens. You understand that. You understand? King of Southside. My whole adolescent years, all I did was fight dudes from Southside. Shout out Monkey Dave. He's someone that I fought all the time. He don't know me, but now we just kind of gonna connect on some good stuff now. So shout out Monkey Dave. Monkey Dave used to be there waiting for anyone going to Hollis with like 20, 30 dudes every day at the Q2, the only bus that runs through Hollis. So, but Irv, again, with all of this, he was just different, man. I can't explain it. He was different. I seen something in my job, aside from my mom and my dad always telling me, take care of your brother. Make sure he's good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to take care of my brother, so it never stopped. I only got in an argument with Irv during the trial one time because he acted like he didn't remember. And anything I did, the reason I'm sitting here is because my accounting was, I got a grade A bill of health from the feds for the accounting of murdering.
Mm-hmm.
We gambled a ton. They had me gambling at 1.8 a week. And that's not just me. It was me, John, Irv, all gambling with a bookie. And I had a book. Who keeps track of their? I do. Because I want to see profit and loss. And we could claim profit and loss in business. But I had every check I signed, unless it was to me. So anything we did to anybody, if I had to pay Envy a check, Irv, I'm going to sign this for Envy. Anything outside of payroll, right? That which I'm signing, but anything outside of payroll, Irv, I got to give Charlamagne, you know, I got to give everybody, he's seen it. And then it's okay to, and then I go sign. I never made one check without doing that. See, again, they always say families can't do business together. I'm showing you how you have to do it as family.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it this way, you will have problems. So he can never look at anything and say a word. But when we're in the trial and they're saying, what's this? Talking about checks. And he's saying, ask Chris. I'm like, woo! Mm-hmm. Like, man, nigga, you told me to pay this dude. You told me to pay this dude. Don't get amnesia now. And the lawyers had kind of got us separated. I wasn't playing with him. And then I said, you better start remembering now. And he did. He started. Irv didn't do the trial. I always say this to everybody. Irv didn't do the trial. I did the trial. I did every motion hearing. Motion hearings, you usually don't go. It's just your lawyers and their prosecutor, and they're deciding on what evidence gets submitted into the trial. That's where you win and lose cases. Mm-hmm. My judge, the first day, said, why are we here? We know these guys are guilty. My judge.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I turned to Shagel, which is my lawyer. He's not here no more. It's Jerry Shagel, best lawyer in the game. And I turned to Shagel, and I'm looking at him, and then I just start staring at the lawyer, and I write down, is this grounds for an appeal? And I slide it to Shagel. Shagel says, we'll talk afterwards. So we go in the hallway, and the judge sees me staring at him, and he realizes I'm not like a paralegal. Oh, this is really the client. This is, because they never show, clients never go to motion hearings. Mm. So they're like, oh man, and he changes everything up. After it's all over, the prosecutor's smirking and laughing like, yeah, got him.
We got this one right.
Yeah. So we go out in the hallway, and he said, Chris, I know the judge. We went to school together. He says he's probably going to be the most fierce judge you're going to get in the Southern District. I said, what? I said, what? He said, I promise. He said, we could make a motion to change because of what he said. He said, but I wouldn't do that. I'm going to tell you, trust me. And I said, oh my God. I was like, this is who you want the judge to be for my case. And I'll keep it 100. When we first started, we had like 24 charges. It wasn't just 2. It was they put everything on it, just threw everything. Anything Preem was dealing with, they threw on us. And we get to the next day for the motion hearing, and that judge blocked everything because he knew he messed up the day before. I really believe that. Mm-hmm. He blocked everything. I mean, I keep it 100. I had a lot of guns and things, and I never sold drugs in my life. I might have robbed a drug dealer. I never sold the drugs, except for when I sold what I robbed, but that's different. That's a different sale. That's a different sale.
He didn't sell it to customers. He sold the other drug dealers. That's what he said.
Yes, at a discount too. They love me, these guys. So at the end of the day, I feel that guilt he had. That next day, he blocked everything, and that is the defining moments of why there's no way those jurors, 12 jurors of not your peers, that are not your peers, is going to find you innocent with 24 charges, and you understand?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. The most chilling moment for me, again, I was very ignorant to a lot of this stuff, was the first day of court. You get in there, all rise, judge, and they read Christopher Lorenzo versus the United States of America. I'm like, what did I do to the government? What did I do to this country that I'm fighting them? Like, that was the surreal moment, even though you see it in the doc, but when they read it, I was like, oh man, this is crazy. But I didn't do, like, everything, money laundering case, it's all Earth's money. It's not my money, why am I sitting here? But I signed every check, and that's my partner, and we there, my brother, and that's it.
Y'all held it down, though.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you about the funeral, because Hov came to the funeral.
Yes.
I thought Ashanti came to the funeral,
She
too?
did not. She sent some flowers.
Okay. What about Joe?
Fat Joe
Yeah.
did not. His father passed at the same time.
Okay, got you.
Joe came late. Actually, Joe was there late.
Got you.
He left his father's and got to us late. I seen him at the end when it was almost over. He did get there. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, he wasn't in the beginning though.
Got you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. He mentioned the flowers, and I know Ashanti had posted a statement online. Did that? I know you said that you want to talk in person, but like, did that provide any sort of comfort for you guys in that moment? Just having things show up there from her.
I don't know how to answer that. Really, it's like it's a terrible. My dad was the worst, and Irv passed that. This is the connection between a sibling and the way me and Irv grew up. I mean, I raised Irv. Mm-hmm. That's not my father. My mother. See, my dad was an alcoholic. My adolescent years, he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then when he got older, I understood why he was drunk every day. Mm-hmm. He had 8 kids with no money. You know what I'm saying? I understand as a man. He never left. He stayed with mom. And I asked him that question, why didn't you leave? He said, I could never do that to y'all. Heard you. You know what I'm saying? He's my hero. But my brother, I had to explain this to his kids. I said, I know that's your dad. I know what it is to lose a dad. I said, you'll feel that the day you have to lose your brother, whenever that day comes, and it's different. To this day, I got sick over Irv, man. I got sick physically after he literally in the hospital, like, and what is it? It's stress. What's the stress? It's my brother. He's here right now, like, but I got through it. I have to, like I said, so when you say that with the flowers, it's a good gesture. Good gesture. I won't go further than that. And I don't want to be disrespectful to her because she probably thinks it's good, but she should know better that she had to talk to me physically. Actually, she should come see me physically. I love Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? That's like little sis, for real. We took care of her in every sense of the imagination. She confessed to me one day afterwards, and she thanked me for everything we did for her, because now she's out there by herself and she's getting all type of indecent proposals. Let's leave it at that, right? Because that's what this industry is. Let's not make any sugarcoating about it. It's an attractive young lady. She wants to make music. What could you do with this? You want that beat? Okay, let's go over here. And she told me, and she was like, thank you. She thanked me for always taking care of it. On Verses, and she's with Nelly. Shout out Nelly. I have no problem with these, nothing. I fuck with Nelly. But on Verses, the day of Verses, he pulls up and I said, what do you want to do? I asked her, like, she come up here, you ask her, what do you want to do? I'll roll this nigga off the stage. She said, no, I'll give you the sign if there's a problem. But that's the day they got back together. That's why you don't get in the middle of relationships.
Yeah.
It's different. That's why I never got in it when Irv and her were together. I never did. I just tried to keep it cool with them and keep the business moving.
Damn, that's crazy. I could have swore it was reported that she went to the funeral. Okay, so she just sent you a text.
No.
I
They lied. They did put a report that she was there. They lied. Again, she probably got a good publicist or something.
I want to ask you,
she should have came and said it was for my mother.
Yeah.
That's the part that's deeper than just what it is. She knows that. She knows Nene. Come on. This is, all bets is off when it's death. It's over. Nothing Irv could say, nothing no more. It's over. Why can't you? And again, if it's because of your husband, you could come see me and talk to me. I could see you at a show. What's the difference? That's how I look at it, me personally.
Yeah.
She had said that she tried to, there was an olive branch or whatever that she tried to extend or was extended, but it wasn't received well. So you think that that's why she kind of
She texted me. I wasn't in the mood for texting. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
She got to understand that too. You can't only have your view. It's two sides. She texted me, and she didn't text me. If I show you the date, she texted me, it's late. You understand? He's gone already. So just put this in, without me going deep, he's gone, and then I get a text after he's gone a couple days. No, nothing else. She got my number. She could, like,
You would have appreciated a call. Or
I would have
get what you're
appreciated
saying.
a visit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand.
Like I said, we did a lot, you know. And she could say whatever she wants about a relationship, she whatever, but she can't lie about her career. Who can? Who can sit there and say she did something more than what it is? Like, yeah, she wrote the records with him. She hated every hit record. How about that? So what if we listen to her? Did she become Ashanti? That's the facts. Baby, she hated that.
Why, it was too many babies?
It's one of my favorite records. Irv went in the booth and told her, you gotta sing like this. He said, you gotta feel like you high. You don't get high, that's why you don't know what it is. That's what he told her. And he said, you gotta be strung out on a man that way. And he's so, I don't wanna hear it pitch perfect. I sound stupid, Gotti. Sing it like that. And she did. See, I give credit for the listening. A producer has to be able to produce, or else you're just a beat maker, right? And you're leaving it in the hands of an artist. And then that's the reality. If you trust that producer, which they trusted her, they was able to get through and make those changes. She compromised her own belief for his, which is to her credit. You know, and that's the reality. Ja, the favorite time with Ja was Holla Holla. I get that beat, I run to the studio, Irv puts it up. Ja did 2 hooks. Irv said, write the hook first. We playing cards in the other room. He comes out with a hook. That's not it. Go write another hook. What if Ja said, nah, Irv, that's it. That's what these artists do today. It's like they can't be wrong. Nah, that's it. Irv said, no, that's not it. Came out with another one. That's not it. The third one, yo, I'm going to double it up. I'm going to do with the beat. Holla, holla. Room go crazy. Go write it. He wrote the hook, and the verses it's like they was written already. That's how fast it was. And we're talking about 16 bars, 3 times, 16 bars. It was as soon as he got the hook, the verses was like, done, hit record. But that's the beauty of a producer. And that's, to me, Irv is a producer. For real, for real. And then when I look in the industry, Dr. Dre, who's Irv's idol, he idolized, like, he's the best. I don't even know how he made this or how he did that, but Dr. Dre is a real producer. You know, and you have a lot of them. You know, I remember Tim and Irv, Timbo, you know, they used to have little competitions, you know, and he would tell, because Tim's on huge records, and Irv would say, did you tell him what to do? He said, how come you didn't make Magoo a hit? You know, you know, this was Irv and Tim's conversations, but when you think about it, it's real. I get it. I'm just in the back listening, you know, I'm that. And I'm like, man, that's real stuff though.
How many people did you have to fight for Irv? Because Irv had a crazy mouth. Pause.
Listen to me. Irv would go out, I would get the call. Over and over. That's like a constant. All of his friends, everyone would tell you, like, they would call me and they would be like, yo, your brother's here, but you know I really don't fuck with him. I said, well, then don't call me. You can't not fuck with my brother and tell me you fuck with me. That's impossible. Nah, you know what I mean, Chris. You know what I mean. All right, well, then make sure he's good. And that's what would happen. So I didn't really fight a lot. I'm blessed. I was blessed in the sense of I got a lot of respect. You know, the people I fought wasn't really for Irv. I fought a lot, but it wasn't for Irv.
Mm-hmm.
There was a respect, and everyone knew if you didn't mess with Irv, you can't fuck with me. Don't come over here. You know, I'll give you the Jimmy henchman. Shout out Jimmy again, but this is how we actually got cool. He kept coming to meet me at different clubs. Yo, I want to talk to your brother. I said, okay, what you want to talk about, Jimmy? Talk to me. I said, I want to talk to your brother. I said, Jimmy, I'm telling you, I'm going to get it to. Like, I don't lie. If you're going to tell me, I'm going to get it to Irv. Just talk to me. And then he said it again, and I said, I am Irv, nigga. What's up? And then, oh, yeah. And then it was tension, a lot of tension with Jimmy. Now, we didn't get into any conflict. We resolved it. But when you deal with predators, and I dealt with a lot of predators, you have to deal with them. They only respect power, strength. So if I didn't show Jimmy strength, it would have been probably a whole nother situation.
Do you think the industry is messed up because, now this is going to sound crazy, back in the day when hip-hop was prevalent and everybody was running, there were predators or there were street guys.
Was it worse then than today?
It seems like it's not as bad. It seems like people are just doing whatever they want to do.
I think it's 1,000 times worse back in our era versus today.
But do you think there was more control? There was somebody on the West. There was somebody in Houston. There was somebody in Brooklyn. There was somebody in Queens. There was somebody in Bronx that kept the artists being artists, and the street guys
Like
were
there was
the
a
one.
code.
There was a code. It doesn't seem like that code is there now.
It is. Let's say lawless, but the code back then, most people didn't have the right person they was dealing with. I mean, I don't want to, but I had tons of people's jewelry in my hand that I shouldn't have had in my hand, and I'm like, and the reason they was coming to me, these guys, was they would tell me, do you know them? I'll get it back to them. But then they want me to pay for them or want them to pay for it. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to get into the middle of that business. Now, if you was my man and it was that, I'd call you up and I would ask you, hey, something happened? I wouldn't say anything. I would ask you, you good? Is everything? And I want them to confess. And they would, 99 times out of 100, they did not confess. They would act like it was cool. Like, nah, no one wants to act like they got robbed or anything. They want to always act like, okay, well, then if you said nothing, cool. You know?
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
I saw they're
no
doing just speaking of this, made me think of they're doing the Supreme Team docuseries or documentary.
Well, the docuseries is a documentary on Supreme. It's called The Supreme Truth. And yeah, shout out Luke. He made an incredible film. Him and Michael J. Payton. And it's, again, just backed on with facts. Like, it was fact checked. There was no, this is my opinion. That's one of the things Preem insisted on. He wanted to get all of the facts where people lied or this is impossible because this is what it is. Because the reality is he's in on the wrong charges. And I'll leave it at that. What he's convicted of is not what he did. But when you go in front of 12 people with a history like he has, oh man, good luck in getting them to say not guilty. And that's just the facts, because I was there for that whole trial. And it's all lies. It's based on lies, it's all snitches. But the 12 are gonna believe that because you have a history. They're not gonna sit there and say, oh, he couldn't have done that. That part of your brain is not happening. It's not happening.
The Diddy trial must have drove you crazy.
The Diddy trial, I was just with Christian out in L.A. not too long ago. Shout out Christian and the whole family, Justin and them. Because I can't imagine what they're dealing with. My biggest problem with the trial was when it first started, the way they promoted it, I thought something was going to come of it. Like some real, we're going to hear about all types of crazy shit, You don't hear nothing. We hear the girl enjoyed having a freak off, with dudes with large members. Pause. At the end of the day, and she was paying them. My biggest problem is this: if he's not a billionaire, he's right there. Let's call him a billionaire. How does this black billionaire, with this lack of evidence, where they had to, the prosecutor had to remove charges in the middle of the trial, said, oh, we're not going to go after these, we're taking these off, because they didn't have no evidence for it. Not get home, not be able to fight this from home. That's all I'm saying. Nothing else. Why couldn't he fight this from home? you know, the Abercrombie and Fitch people, they $5 million bail and they're home, and they got all the boys they was messing with, them little boys and girls. Like, come on. Enough is enough, man. But as people, if we don't get together, we will never get anywhere. And that's the biggest problem. They know we can never get together.
You think he gonna get to come home and get the time served on the prostitution
He's definitely
charges?
getting time served, and it's just a question of what they charge him with. How much is the judge going to give him?
Yeah,
how
what
much
you
amount of time? I'm afraid for him.
Really?
Yeah. Only because they didn't let him go. He should have been home. He should not. He's almost in a year. We all watched the
I think he's
case.
in longer than a year, hasn't he been?
No, it's only
October.
been like 13, 14 months.
Yeah, that's a
13,
little
14
younger than a
months
year.
is
It's,
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah,
over
a year, yes.
So
Delaware, boy, that DSU.
That Delaware education.
God damn.
When you say more than a year, I'm thinking like you're hitting at like 2 years
Can you stop?
plus.
That's
We
more
got
than
you.
Let's go.
You're
Yeah,
wrong.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
but he's for being in that long is crazy. For the charges for the case that I heard, it's not a domestic violence case. I don't condone. I'm a protector of women. So at the end of the day, if I see a female in duress, I will be in the middle of that problem. Now, if it's a relationship, like I said, I don't do that. I got 5 sisters. I got a mother. I got a ton of nieces. I got a daughter. You're not playing with no women as a man. So when I heard the domestic violence, I don't condone that. But that's not a domestic violence case in the feds. He's in MDC right now. That's a real place. Nah, that's not cool, man. And I was early on it because I was waiting to hear something. And a prosecutor will always come out with the smoking gun. The first thing they're gonna talk about it. And I didn't hear nothing. And right after that, I was like, let Diddy go. Man, this is terrible. You know, hold your head, bro. And again, whatever someone's sexual preferences is nothing. If he involved kids, then there would have been a problem. Again, women, kids, you can't play with that shit. Not around me, no.
The Abercrombie and Fitch thing was interesting too, because they was always saying that he got a bail because of his age.
Yeah.
And then they said he was unfit to stand trial because he had dementia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Puffy got to go crazy too.
Yeah.
And should have make me crazy.
Now,
I wanted to ask you something else about Dame Dash is doing the Supreme Team TV series.
Yeah. Kyle, shout out Kyle, Preem's son. He got Dame and he talking to Prince and Preem. We was on the phone.
Dope.
Yeah, we was on the phone. Like, the reality is, anyone could tell Preem's story from the 80s. Once you get into the 90s, and that's Murder Inc. He's attached to the hip. I went through the whole trial for it. That's really what the public wants to hear about.
Wasn't Irv doing the Supreme Team
Yes,
TV
he
show?
was.
Yeah.
We had, Jamie Foxx, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan to play Prince, his nephew, and Jamie Foxx was gonna play Preem. Was talking to Leonardo DiCaprio for the detective, like the lead detective role.
Wow.
No, it was Powerhouse.
Was it gonna be a movie or a TV show?
It was a movie.
Wow.
But here's what happened. Irv. Irv happened. We was Irv. He cursed out the president of BT, or told him he's like not black. He didn't really curse him out. He said he's not black.
So Scott Mills or
Scott.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say his name, but yeah, Scott. I'm trying to do business over there, Scott. You heard me? We'll get on to that next. But he tells him he's not black. He don't know this culture, Uncle Tom, all types of stuff like that. Irv was very close with Bob Backish. Bob Backish was the CEO of Viacom, who owns and controls BET, Paramount Films. So we was getting a deal with Paramount for this movie, the Preem Team, through Bob. And Irv thought he was going to protect him with Scott. And then Irv went there and said, Irv, I hired him. I can't do that. And then Irv ended up losing Tales. We was the number one TV slot on BT for our time slot for Tales, and we lose it. Again, we got Irv. And he lost it because Scott took a stand, I can't work with him. And that was the end of Tales.
Why did he end up calling Scott? Why did he call Scott Uncle
Because
Tom?
Irv, okay, Irv is a visionary, again, and he had ideas about Tales in different genres of music, and he wanted to. I'm gonna give Mona Scott this credit. Shout out Mona. He wanted to love and hip hop it. What do I mean by love and hip hop? Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami,
Franchise.
Love and Hip Hop LA. No, but it's from its programming. See, we're talking programming now. So Love and Hip Hop never stops. It's every day, 365. When you do TV shows, you got your hiatus. You're shooting this little bit of time, 10 episodes, and you're off. Then you come back. No, now if I do that, I never stop working. But then you know, that's a lot of money too. Irv is what we was getting $25 million for 10 episodes. So 2.5 an ep. So if you did that times 4, you're talking about $100 million deal. And that's why you might call someone out of their name for $100 million. And if they don't see the vision, we got a show that's working. We already proved it out. Let's do R&B now. Let's do rock and roll. Let's do country. Let's do Latin. You know, the concept is there. So it's like, But you know, Mona Scott, she did that with Love and Hip Hop. Shout out Mona again.
Yeah, she did.
Now the reason you hear the Clash Pro League.
Yes.
What is the Clash Pro League?
Man, the Clash Pro League is, again, I'm 4 decades inside of street basketball. You know, I did so many things in my career. When I look back, I'm like, man, I did all of this. I can't believe it. But yeah, 4 decades inside the street. I helped Greg Marius, who ran Rucker Park, helped build, do deals with him and build Rucker Park to the height. You know,
EBC, right? That's what they call it.
EBC now. Yeah, Entertainers Basketball Classic. That's what it's called now. But yeah, I did that, and then all these years in the middle of that, I would always think of, I dealt with, I also have a sports business, so I manage athletes. I have NBA players that I was managing, football players managing or managing or co-agenting. I would get an agent and be his partner, bring him the athlete. And through all of that is what made me start the league, because I understood business principle number 1, supply and demand. The supply of athletes that are not getting jobs, that are really talented, play D1, but have nowhere to go. They play in the street ball, and some of them do get to go overseas. But when you think of overseas, it's only 2 jobs an American can get on each team overseas. The rest has to be from the country that you're playing in. So most of those jobs are taken, just like the NBA. NBA is 450 players in the NBA, and guess what? Most of them are not leaving. And then you get a new recruit, two drafts, 2 rounds every year. That's only 32 teams, 64 players. Think of March Madness, and you understand supply. Every year, all them teams, D1, talented players, but can't get a job. And I was like, we need a team in a league in New York. Just started. I want to start it in New York, but I want to franchise leagues in every city. You know, and then really have a stronghold on that. So that's what I did last year. It went incredible. We sold out every week. Short season for the attention span of these Z's, right? So I did a shortened season, only a 7-game season. Again, with money, I'm paying all the players. They all get paid. The coaches, everyone's getting paid. So it's a real league. I based it on leagues like the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. And if you look at the Puerto Rico League, like Bad Bunny owns a team over there. Like they're pumping now the influence of a big star and money into these teams. Puerto Rico will end up having a very big league. The problem is they need to accept more American players. They have to make an adjustment from their own business, because only having 2, Puerto Rico's not big enough to have really that good of players everywhere. It's just what it is. You need more from outside to make the league more dynamic. But that's where they're at. And then I looked at all this, I studied this, and I said, let's start a league. And I did it at a very cost-efficient manner. I based the pay off of those games. We only have a 7-game series. It's 8 teams. 8 teams, they all play each other once. Once that's over, playoffs, championship, we're done. I did a full combine. We had over 500 players show up, and you had to fill out a questionnaire to make sure that I know you know how to play ball. You have a career somewhere. I'm not just taking someone off the street that's, I'm nice, I killed the YMCA yesterday. No, you have to be a real athlete. So all of these are real athletes that played somewhere, and man, it was a huge success. My next goal is now season 2. We're starting in March this year. I moved the date. I don't want to do it in the summer, which is probably in New York is the ideal time because I don't want to cannibalize the street ball. I also helped build like a Dykeman Park, like me and Ken Stevens. Shout out Ken Stevens, man. I helped build out Dykeman. And now, I helped him out with that in Dykeman's at his height. So I understand, but I get all the players from the high school up. So I have the farming system, basically everything right in my fingertips with Clash. And then that's what the league's about. And then it really is about expanding. I've had meetings just now. Shout out Jay Will, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony,
Nice.
Kendrick Perkins, Fat Joe, and then I got French Montana. I'm using influencers now for each team.
Smart.
Gotcha.
You guys could come in whenever you want. Just let me know. No, seriously, like this is business. And when I show you the business side of it, this is multi-billions of dollars once I expand into multiple cities. The real part of it will be marketing because I'm using these social media influencers or celebrities. I'm talking to NLE Chopper, Chris Brown, J. Cole.
Chris Brown, that's what's up.
Yeah, because I want someone with a basketball affinity.
And he got it.
I know.
To this day.
Chris Brown used to come to New York and play with me. I used to get a basketball city, and he would come. That's how I know Chris Brown. Before he got big, I was playing basketball. He would come I would play at night with all my guys. And Chris Brown, a guy named Ten would bring him with me, and we go play ball everywhere.
Same. That's how we met too. Way back before he.
You don't play no goddamn
shut
basketball.
up. He used to play with my cousins.
No, but he could play ball. So someone like him. So CB, if you listen and you see what I'm doing, like come holler at me because it's a huge potential. We'll own all of this. I mean,
Gilly too. Gilly can ball.
I know. Look, Gilly and Wallow. I'm trying to get these guys to come up. They were supposed to come last year, but now I want to talk to them about being owners of teams, and then I can show them the business side of that and how will they get the money. And I'm not asking for $1, right? I'm giving the teams. I'm picking the right influencers to make my league.
That's dope.
I'm gonna shout out Robin from Ball Alert.
Salute to
Oh,
Robin.
nice.
Shout out
Robin, yeah.
Robin. That's my girl. She's gonna be one of my
Salute to Robin.
influencers. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be an artist. It could be an influencer as well. I reached out to Castanat, all of them, Drewski. I reached out to everyone to see.
Yeah, the streamers would.
But
definitely
sometimes
make
you
it
got to
big.
show them.
Gotta show them before it happens. Yep.
But when you see that what I did last year, I mean the gym. We're in a small gym. It's in Harlem, 119th Street, in Manhattan Ave. It's a small gym because I want it like the street. Like, you go to Dykeman, everyone's on top. I want my gym. So when I get to where I need to, because this is first round, I'm raising $3 more million. And it's, it's safe. So people don't know what safes are. I'm like, man, it's the best thing for an investor. So if the evaluation comes in higher or lower, that safe adjusts for you. So you never get a chance. That's what all the Silicon Valley guys, they use safe notes when they raise money. For that reason, because you don't know. I'm starting a tech company. It's worth $100 billion.
Yeah.
What happens? He comes in. It's only worth $1 million. It adjusts. So your money's more valuable than thing. It'll adjust for you. So that's the reason we did the safe. But $3 million my first round. The first year it was just our money. Me and a couple investors. We paid it. But this next one, $3 million, and then right after that, that'll cover me for 2 years. I'll kill this New York area, and then I'll look to go into Baltimore, Chicago, Atlanta with different leagues and raise another $50 to $100 million.
Well, congratulations on your league. I think that's dope.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, man. Great
Yes.
conversation, brother.
That's right.
I got to talk about one more thing before we get off.
What's
I got a
that?
movie. I'm a filmmaker now.
Okay.
Nice.
Ballin'. I got Lance Stevenson as my lead, Safari, Trey Chaney.
Shout out to Trey Chaney.
Yeah,
That's
shout out Trey.
Lance
Yeah.
Stevenson, the basketball player?
He's the lead.
Oh, wow.
He's the lead. Not only is he the lead, but he made an incredible soundtrack. Lance Stevens, the Black Drake.
Oh, wow. Easy music. Okay.
He's the Black Drake, I promise you. He's singing and rapping on the songs, and I couldn't believe. I was going to just make 1 or 2 songs for the movie.
Why not Safari, though?
Why?
Why
What?
wouldn't you get Safari to do the soundtrack?
I asked, but you got to come in, right?
I thought you said he was in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Okay.
But he didn't come to the studio.
Got you.
You got to come.
That was probably for the best.
Right?
Shut up,
Yo.
man.
Nah, and I'm gonna, since you said shout out Safari. Safari is not like you might think as a person if you get to know him.
Nah,
See,
Safari
his
cool.
perception of him is really different than what he really is.
Nah,
Yeah,
we
cool,
rock
dude.
with Safari.
No, he's very good.
Yeah, I
He's
talked
very
to him
cool
before,
dude.
man.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
fine. Yeah, he's a
But
good dude.
yeah, we did well. We was #1 5 weeks in a row on Tubi. Go watch it. It's out on Tubi.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
out.
what is it called?
Ballin'.
Ballin'. Okay, on TV. Okay,
No,
that's-
it's based off of an Alfred Hitchcock movie called Dial In for Murder. The way the plot twist is, we just put the culture for today
nice.
with people like us.
Word. Gotta check that
You know
out.
what I'm saying?
That's dope. Real
Yeah.
quick, are y'all related to Sinbad?
No, Sinbad.
Okay,
you know how many
cool,
people
right.
tell me Sinbad look like me?
You trying to say you look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sinbad?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I used
Now
to
I
get
can't
that.
unsee
I
it.
used to get
Yeah.
that younger. Yeah, I used to get it younger. I don't get it as much now.
Yeah. That's
And we
what's up.
just finished shooting another movie. So Arc Films with I got 2 partners, Andy and Trotter. Shout out Andy, man, and Dwight Rich Black Walker.
Nice.
You know who wrote it with me there, and man, we just moving in with Arc Films. I got so many films. Next year I'll have at least 7 movies out.
Damn, that's dope.
Yes.
2026.
Yep. Not me. I'm not gonna have 7 movies out.
No, I'm saying, why you ain't asking me to be in nothing?
Oh, are you casting? for
Always.
any of your-
We got a movie.
Okay.
We got one where we already casted right now called Raffle.
Okay.
We're shooting in Miami. That's gonna be fire too.
Crazy.
Great
Okay.
great cast of people already, and then Eva, the director. I mean, Boy Wonder. You know the producer, Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's part of that movie as
That's
well.
what's up.
Raffle.
I'm always down to audition, man. So, Chris, you
Okay,
got something
I'll
for
get
me?
your number for
All right.
sure.
Yeah, hell
for
yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
We have a lot of stuff coming out, you know,
Yeah.
and we're doing it for the Black and brown. So I'm not Latin, but I do Latin with my partner Don De Niro.
Nice.
Man, we just finished Spanish Fly, a crazy movie, a comedy.
Envy.
Could have put.
You know what I'm saying? So we got it
Yeah.
all.
I'm not Spanish, man. You better stop
Yeah,
that.
He
I'm
not
Dominican.
either. He said he not, but he works.
You know,
in
partner.
it.
Yes, partner. I'm not Spanish.
I just-
Oh,
Yeah, I got a
okay.
partner that's Cuban.
Oh, okay.
And he's
okay.
my partner. He does all the Latin side for me, but I, support him with everything he's doing. You know, it's funny because on my Wikipedia, someone put down there because people could add stuff. I
Yeah.
never did my Wikipedia, but
Oh
they
yeah,
said,
he does mine too all the time. He called me a gardener. He started
oh,
as
they
a gardener.
put on mine that
I've
I'm
never done
Dominican, so I'm an honorary
Oh,
Dominican.
Kelly's
Que lo que?
Dominican too.
That's it.
They said, que lo que?
Well, it's Chris
Damn.
Gotti. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?